What if we could play a video game anywhere we wanted? That's a question I don't think you hear people say at all anymore, considering we got Steam Decks, Nintendo Switches, Soldier game. But back then, during the NES days, people always wondered, or at least I think they did, I'm 17, I don't have any say in this, but how in the world would you take a Mario and make it play at a funeral? The answer is, you don't. The Game Boy was an absolutely amazing system with a ton of amazing games, don't get me wrong. But when it was just starting out, it seemed a lot of companies struggled to make something that didn't either have screen crunch problems or just issues with the small screen in general. There's also the fact the screen was ass green and wasn't lit up, but then you play some of these games without being critical, and you can tell they did generally try, but easily puzzle games are what the Game Boy did best. Tetris and Donkey Kong are easily the first games that come to mind when I think of this system, but this little game from April 21st, 1989 wasn't a puzzle game at all. In fact, it was a good old side-scroller, a Mario one to be specific. It had some decently big shoes to fill considering it released after Mario 3, which at least in my eyes is one of the best side-scrollers ever made. But at the same time, we had a reason to be a little less harsh on the game too, considering it was a handheld game, which making a console-like game for at the time seemed like a very big challenge. But how does it hold up? Not very well! But let me explain why. God, I love games like these. It's just a photo, then when you hit start, there's no file select, no terms of service, it's just like, nah bitch, you're playing the game now. The game plays like your standard 2D Mario game. You got your run, your jump, the good old power-ups, but something about it here just feels off. Like, don't get me wrong, I've never found the physics in the first Mario Bros. Great either, but at least there it felt somewhat good to play. The controls here just feel like you took Mario and tied rocks to his feet. Like, look at how fast he falls. He's like an anvil. But the music here, though, it's an absolute bop. Level themes are pretty basic here too, with your deserts and caves, but they do generally look nice when playing them on a real Game Boy, despite the fact the game kind of turns into a blurry mess whenever you're moving. There's just something about Game Boy games. The simple looking visuals and Nintendo made ones in particular just look charming to me. But yeah, that's really it if you don't count the motherfucking shooting sections. Yes, that's right, they gave a plane that shoots because they can. Come to think of it, a lot of Game Boy games had experimental stuff. Like, take Link's Awakening, for example. That has Mario stuff in it for some reason. In all honesty, though, as you play, you start to notice a pattern. Even with all the different themes, the levels start to feel the same. I'll once again say that the original Mario Bros. Has the same issue, but I also don't think Mario Land had as big of an impact. Each stage, just at least to me, suffers from being plain old repetitive in my eyes. This game honestly doesn't feel fun to play. Not that it's a bad game, far from it. It's just extremely awkward and aged like milk. Behind a furnace. Inside a volcano. In Australia. But in the same way, I can say the game does have its charm in all honesty. Just the fact it's the first handheld Mario game makes it extremely important. Although not as influential of a game as its older brother, it still holds a place in my heart, being the first Game Boy game I've ever played. And after this, it even spawned an amazing sequel, Super Mario Land 2. Just the fact that a ton of amazing Nintendo-made Game Boy games came after this already proves that Mario Land seems to be more of a way to test the waters than anything, and just for that, it's earned my respect. If you want to try it, do it if you want it. It's not too difficult or long. It only took me around 40 minutes to finish it. Even with all the issues it has, it's still a charming game, which in all honesty seems to be what they were going for. It's not an absolute masterpiece or work of art like the other Mario games I've played, but it's still a classic after all. Hey, this track goes out to all my Mario fans out there. The guys that like the video game Super Mario Bros. Mario's my bro, he's my side hoe. He likes games, he's gotta go. Mario's my bro, he's my side hoe. He's in the games, and he's got to go. He jumps, he runs, he likes to bounce. He's Mario, and he's gotta pounce. He's the Mario guy, he is from Mario. He has the Koopas, and he stomps them with his feet. He jumps around and he's super duper neat. Mario is a man. Yes, he is a man. Mario is the best of the best, and he's the Mario. Damn. Super Mario, he's my bro. He's my side hoe, and he's got to go. Super Mario, he's my bro. He's my side hoe, and he's got to go. Super Mario, he's my bro. He's my side hoe, and he's got to go. Super Mario, Super Mario, Super Mario, Super Mario.